Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, from the sunny Caribbean, you are watching What You Need. Shout out to 78 Sports TV who brought this to my attention. I went immediately to the WBA's website concerning Adrian Broner being declared the WBA Super Champion. 78 Sports TV would have seen I replied, "That makes no damn sense," I said. And I went to the website to see what they said. They said that they elected Adrian Broner as a super champion according to their WBA rule C18, which has to do with championships, part C. Now, first of all, a super champion, as far as I know, like what 78 Sports TV said, it basically, when you have 5 to 10 defenses, you become a super champion, championship defenses. So that's what this section right here is saying about super belts. But also, if you go a little further into the WBA, you will see that if you unify the belts, the WBA also gives the super champion belt to that for a guy who owns 1 or more belts. Now, the WBA rules, it was actually modified in Bulgaria in the 11th of June this year. So it could possibly be that this is a modification, but part 18, you'll see that the super champion status, in exceptional cases, the championships committee and president may designate a champion other than the interim champion. So once you're not interim, if you're a regular champion, as super champion, the president and committee may establish criteria for super championship. So they can make anybody who's a champion a super champion. That's basically what that's saying. And basically, when I go through this in more detail, they even say that there will be a mandatory defense period, which is kind of weird because super champions, they're not supposed to have mandatory defenses, but apparently in this exceptional case, you have mandatory defenses. They collect their sanctioning fees, and they have what manner and what time an official contender for the super title shall be named. So they actually name contenders for that, and there's a period of time. So I just wanted to answer 78 Sports TV. It seems as though in their own rules they have stuff that accommodates that. So in short, what basically the WBA can do is they can play around their own rules and do whatever they want to do, pretty much, because Guillermo Rigondeaux, he's a champion in recess, and that makes sense because he hasn't fought in a year, right? So he's in recess basically. They've given him this extra time, but I think what they're trying to do is get the winner of Quigg and Frampton to face Rigo next, and that's what Carcino was saying. So by him becoming a regular champion, he'll actually be able to face them as a mandatory. Even though they become champions, when he comes out of recess, he'll immediately face one of them. So I guess that's what's setting up in this case. With the case of Adrian Broner, man, I gotta admit to you, I feel just like you, 78. I just want to tell you that. But they have their rules and regulations that cover them, so I find it kind of the criteria is kind of arbitrary. In other words, you're saying you have to do so many things to be a super champion, but if we feel like just electing you as a super champion, you can be a super champion, Now, Adrian Broner, to his credit, has an incredible record, okay? He's a 4-divisional world champion, okay? He was undefeated until he faced Sean Porter and he faced Marcus Maidana. So he really has a great record. There seems to be that inconsistency. There seems to be that favoritism. So I totally agree with 78 Sports TV here. This does not look good, especially with Guillermo Rigondeaux in recess. And so, again, the WBO has been doing some weird stuff, and now the WBA is literally doing some weird stuff as far as I'm concerned. And it really looks bad on them. The WBC has been doing okay. The IBF has been doing okay. But even though this is in the WBA's rules, it really looks bad. That's all I got to say. You guys have a great one.